Hey guys, welcome to the Stylespreneur Podcast. I am your host, Damali Fields, and today we have with us Greg Gilmore. He is a master hairstylist and a celebrity hairstylist and an ambassador for Moroccanoil. Greg, come on in the room. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Not
I'm
much.
good.
I'm excited because our friends over at Share were like, you have to have Greg on the podcast. So
Mm,
I'm just glad that you were like, okay, girl, I'll talk to you. So
right.
thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So
Thanks for
listen,
having me too.
I'm excited. I feel like I may have seen you at a hair show at some point,
Uh-huh.
but I definitely have been following from afar for a while now.
Thank you.
Definitely a big fan. So
Thank
let's get into it, Greg. You are this celebrity hairstylist. You are traveling at all the shows, and we want to know how. How are you doing it? Wait, first off, how did you get started? How did you decide I want to be in the beauty industry and that I'm going to make this big impact?
um well, I didn't, at first I didn't know for sure if I was gonna make a big impact. I think
Right?
I was just more so ready to get something under my belt upon graduation because, my parents had scared me so much that, I needed to have something going on by the time I turned 18. So
Right.
that's really one of the reasons why I had opted to get my cosmetology license early and started to do hair. And it was offered in my high school. So in my high
Okay.
school, I had a lot of um, teasing, things like that, challenges. But cosmetology was kind of like a safe haven for me because you
Okay.
got out in the hallways and that kind of thing. So I went in lieu of that, and I just wanted to do something creative where I knew I could talk to people, have interpersonal connection while I was creating. So it wasn't until maybe 6 or 7 years into doing hair that I realized I was going to hit kind of like the ceiling where I was at because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And I knew I wanted to do something major, something bigger. I always looked at Sophisticates Black Hair,
Hmm.
and I always read the celebrity stylist advice, and that kind of thing. And I remember one artist, I forgot his name, but he said, if you want to do celebrity hair, you got to go to where the celebrities are. And so that was
Right.
just the main standout thing. And so I kind of kept a note of that, and then I had an opportunity to come out to California and I just took it, you know.
Right.
And so I had plans on, doing a lot of stuff, whatever I could get into, creativity, speaking, writing, meeting new people, any other creative talents I could find and rub
Mhm.
shoulders with, and that kind of thing. But hair had always been my main squeeze. It kind of came easy to me after a while. And I think the technical aspects of understanding the hair's anatomy, the chemistry behind hair color, the geometry
Mhm.
around hair cutting is something that my mind can get with very easily too. So I just became good at it.
Okay. Now, and I can totally agree with that. Like I lived in New York for a little bit, and it's just like if you want to be where the celebrities are, like you definitely have to go there. Now, as far as the celebrities that you have worked with, what approach would you say you've taken? Like I know there's a lot of stylists that are like, I would love to work with a celebrity, but they don't know how to work with them. Like, is there a certain approach that you take? Are there certain celebrities that you like targeted to work with? How have you navigated that?
Um, well, I just kind of made a vision board. I put that vision board together and I really had more of words because I didn't know which celebrities I would work with. Celebrities can go up and down sometimes.
Mhm.
One season they can be this person and A list, and another season they can kind of fade out and be sitting down somewhere.
That's
So
true.
I just put celebrity, and I wanted to do more of platform artistry too. So
Okay.
I kind of got into platform artistry. I had put that on my vision board too. But when I first moved to California, it was very difficult. I think for the first 4, maybe even
Okay.
5 years that I lived there or lived here, I didn't really have a big, windfall of success. I was a regular hairstylist transplant, working. I think that what helped me was aligning myself around other hairstylists that had experience with working in celebrity hair and on set really early.
Mm-hmm.
The first salon I worked at was Eclectic, which was kind of like a well-known salon before I had got there. And a lot of great stylists had came out of Eclectic. And I was able to meet a few of them. And then I moved over to Jasmine Ashley's and worked there for a really long time. I think maybe about 2 years. And this is all like maybe had to be like 10 years ago,
Okay.
because I was like, it's maybe about 14, 15 years since I lived here now. But
Okay.
working around other celebrity stylists, having opportunities for working with celebrities because those celebrity stylists might have been unavailable or they
Mm-hmm.
just didn't feel like doing the work. And they pass it on to me because, in my everyday grind, they could see how talented I was and they could see the kind of work that I did, the kind of care that I had for the hair. And so I was an easy choice for recommendations when they couldn't fulfill the spot.
Nice. I love it. I'm glad that you mentioned like the timeline because I think a lot of times like we see popular celebrity hairstylists and we're just like, oh, like they've been hot, not knowing that like there's been a journey, there's been time, there's been changes. So when we're thinking about changing and the navigations that you've had to have from salon to salon from different areas, what kept you going?
I mean,
Right? Because
for
it
real,
can be tough,
I mean, shoot, I don't even know how I stayed in the game, honestly.
right?
I didn't have no choice really. I couldn't
Okay.
really go back home. I had moved with all my clothes, all my little stuff. I mean, even like paperwork, diploma, social security card, I had everything with me when I left. So, and I had some things like kind of stashed in the trunk in my mom's house, but I pretty much had lost my car within the first year because I got in an accident.
Oh,
And so it wasn't really a way for me to go back unless I just, I don't know, packed all my stuff and got on a plane, which at the time just felt like it would have been so expensive to try to move back for
right.
nothing. I would have been depressed and, versus just staying and sticking it out. And then, of course, God, I prayed a lot, probably every day. And I've always been into like morning pages. I don't know if you know about morning pages, but morning pages is usually like for writers. It's kind of like an exercise. You write 3 pages a day in the morning,
Okay.
just about anything. But I started off doing that when I first moved to Los Angeles, and then, well, probably a little bit before I moved. And then it kind of transgressed into just writing things that I was thankful for,
Mm-hmm.
writing my intentions for the day. And I think as that kind of grew, I started to get different outcomes for my days and different outcomes for like the month. And I seen that there was a lot of power in that. And so slowly, like, you know, it was a growing progression towards where I'm at now.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I've kept like a gratitude journal before, which I feel like is slightly similar, but I'm definitely gonna have to adapt that. Like I love that. I just started writing down like something similar, but not as like aligned and focused as you've been doing. So I'm definitely gonna keep that in my back pocket. Thank you for
Okay.
sharing.
But I
Yeah.
will say too, um, it's important to really take advantage of the opportunities that you do
Mhm.
receive. If I ever had a opportunity, I would always just make sure I had all my tools. Uh,
Mhm.
I had maybe even practiced a little bit before I was going on the job. I've always been one to keep several mannequin heads laying around, just, if I'm confused about something or if I want to just try it out before I have to actually do it. And I was raised pretty well. So grandma
Oh,
came in there. Mom always said, "Did you call her and say thank you for that?"
right.
Kind of mom. So I just had manners, just very considerate on set or in collaboration with other artists, like the makeup artist, wardrobe, whatever. And I think that just kind of gave me a good repeat
Mhm.
situation, where people would call me back or something like that.
Okay, I love that. Now, with your career, I know you mainly focus on color. Is that something that you've always done? Something that you felt like what you truly loved or that you want to focus on?
Well, when I first started here, I thought I was gonna be a rap artist, like just raps.
Right?
And I just loved how, Black women would have their real hair flowing, just
Mm-hmm.
have so much movement. When I first got my license in that day, that was not like a thing that you've seen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Black girls' hair in a wrap usually might be kind of stiff, or as long as they had that band on it, it was kind of doing well.
Right.
Uh, but to see somebody's hair move, like, just kind of shake or blow in the wind a little bit or something like that, that was kind of like a feat. And I thought that I was going to get more into that. But that's always been the basis for any other avenue I went in here. And I think that I've always just wanted to do healthy hair.
Okay.
Uh, I remember back in the day, we used to coin ourselves the healthy hair specialist or
Right.
healthy hair stylist. And so that was a thing, but I incorporated the other things to accent that, like color, like
Mm-hmm.
cutting. And as I, started to learn more about both, I leaned more into cutting. Cutting is my first love. I absolutely love cutting hair.
Okay.
Um, and then I love coloring hair, but coloring hair is such a process
Mm-hmm.
that you have to have so much patience and you have to have so much strategy and foresight to
Right.
do well in color. So it's my second love because I have to work harder over there.
Right. Listen, I say it just takes too much brain power for me. I'm like, I can do a little bit,
Okay.
but color correction, don't call me. Do not call
Okay.
me for color correction at
I know that's
all.
a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Greg, when it comes to the trends, like I know you're at all the beauty shows, I know you're educating. How do you stay on trend, try to stay ahead of it, or like how does it affect your beauty business?
Um, I always look at fashion. I think fashion is,
Mhm.
of course, um, a great tool to first forecast or see what might be coming down the line, especially anything in advance, like, looking at what 2025's winter collection is going to be, seeing how the hair is worn. And it's not always how the hair is worn, it's just maybe the colors, the color
Mhm.
schemes, maybe the feel, the vibe. And the feel, the vibe can match something that we did before. Like
Okay.
right now, the one length bobs are like really jumping.
Hmm.
Um, and I kind of see that they'll probably start to transition into the graduated bob again.
Mm,
Where you have
yeah.
a little bit of graduation. It's probably going to be slightly different, not so severe, where
Okay.
it's all the way up here, but it's going to have some choppiness to it where it has that bevel and then
Mm,
maybe some sharpness again towards the front, the teardrop part. So I just look at fashion. I look at also my clients, just, keeping your ear to the street,
right.
basically seeing what's going on, what my clients really are looking at. Clients come and sit in a chair all the time and say, they bring me pictures or videos and that kind of thing of things that they like.
Okay.
So those things that they like are usually things that are new, um, something that I probably haven't seen before or I'm not hip to. And so I pay attention to those things as well as being involved with like, entities like Behind the Chair.
Hmm.
Of course, I'm a global ambassador from Moroccanoil. Uh, and so we always kind of have different dialogues amongst each other about, different things that we're seeing when we get together. If I meet artists at the shows or, I'm going to the academy or something like that, or we have a Zoom call, we kind of talk
Hmm.
about different things that might be hot.
Okay. Now, I know you mentioned that you are a Moroccanoil ambassador. Can we talk a little bit about that? How did that come about? How does that impact your career? Like for those that are like, oh, I would love to be an ambassador one day.
Well, becoming a Moroccan oil ambassador was a blessing for one,
Mhm.
but I think it only came about through my track record
Oh,
of, working in platform artistry for a number of years before I even got that type of offer. And that I think the first show that I did was uh, the Doris Mosley show, which I
Okay.
heard is coming back actually this
Ooh.
year. I think we might have a little rendezvous with Doris Mosley show in September.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Uh, but it was known for being the largest Black hair show on the West Coast.
Okay.
And one of my mentor at the time, she was the owner of Eclectic, Jackie Montero. She was one of Kazuri's main artists for a long time. And everybody that's been in the game for a minute know Kazuri. It's the
Okay.
stoves, it's the press combs and stuff, the best ones probably that you could find today. And she was an artist for that company. They wanted her to come and do some platform artistry. And she was kind of over it, you know, just kind of a little tired of being on stage and all that running around. And so she had me do it. And I just went on stage and I just did a press. I just did
Okay.
a silk press using those Kazuri pressing comb, but I did a little color because I knew that it would pop on stage.
Right.
And so maybe I already had the intuitive knack for giving something that is going to stand out.
Okay.
And I think over the years, I just kind of progressed from there. I got an offer to work with Design Essentials. I worked with Design Essentials for a while, I think
Hmm.
maybe about 5 years. But in those 5 years, I was able to have Rookie of the Year.
Oh,
I had Educator of the Year twice with them. And then I kind of parlayed into working with Hattori Hanzo. And I worked with Hattori probably about 3 years. And that really was a boot camp for me because we would go on
okay.
trips and we would do, you know, rigorous education all the time. So I would just get thrown out there. But over time, I think all those experiences just ripened me to be in a position to be seen by a company like Moroccanoil
Okay.
for my potential and um, you know, my talent for having something different to give on stage and that kind of thing.
Okay, I love it. So speaking of experiences, I know you've styled for Met Gala, and I feel like that is like a hairstylist's dream to be like, "Oh, I did hair for Met Gala." Can you tell
Mm.
us about that experience?
The Met Gala was an amazing experience. It was a beautiful event. I didn't go to the event, but everything surrounding the event was just a big deal. You know,
Oh,
even the hotels, the people had traveled to even get a glimpse of, you know, somebody
right.
at this Met Gala thing. Um, I worked with Storm Reid, and this was her first time attending the Met Gala.
Okay.
She had a sew-in in when she arrived to the hotel, and we
Uh-oh.
already had planned to do, you know, this short blonde look. At
Uh-huh.
the time, she was really interested in the platinum pixie,
Hmm.
and I could do that. However, long term, when she would just be gone, I wanted her to have something that would be easier for her to maintain, her being a candidate that is having short hair for the first time.
Hmm.
So we kind of collaborated. I think we even had a Zoom call, me, Storm's mom, um, the makeup artist, Sir John, all
Hmm.
kind of just talking about what the look should be like, you know, kind of like this collaborative thing. And so basically that's kind of difficult because it's all also up to what the hair is going to be able to do.
Right.
And I had never seen her hair before. I didn't know what texture her hair was going to be, but I just knew to bring everything that I possibly could to be prepared for the moment. And you know, we took the sew in out in the room
Oh,
and did some color, and we rinsed that color out, and I toned
right.
it up, and it came out absolutely beautiful, and it was a moment.
And how much time did you have?
You know, it's crazy because I don't even know how I did that. You know, I think when you're in the moment,
Right.
things just happen and you're not paying attention that this is not a normal situation. But I think I might have had maybe 3 or 4 hours to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So
but
you
we
were
did it.
crunched, but you made it happen.
Joe did.
Right. So now I know you're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. How are you balancing having your salon, being a platform artist, being an ambassador? Like, how are you able to do it all?
It was hard.
Yeah.
I just balance based on how I can get by on each day. It's not I'm still balancing.
Right.
I think it's important to take some time off. I'm learning that. I'm not old, but I'm just not in my 20s where,
Right.
I had so much exuberant energy
Okay.
and different things interest me. So I could go out and have fun and party and then get up the next day and go to work and all that kind of stuff. It really, this point in my life, being a salon owner and, running my own finances,
Mm-hmm.
keeping up with like a schedule of posting and representation for a major global brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Right.
I have to make a lots of lists for myself, and I use I use calendars. My
Oh,
calendar is like full of different things because I need to stay on track. I can't really forget certain things because then it's still my fault if I
right.
forget or if I'm late for something or if I'm not prepared. So it's about delegating the time, and I've delegated so much of my time to the responsibilities that I've come to discover that I have to delegate some tasks to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm at that point where I'm inviting help. Whereas
Okay.
before, you micromanage a lot of things because if you really have something that you want to do and you have a vision for something, you just
Mm-hmm.
don't trust everybody to
Right.
fulfill the different aspects of that vision uh, on their own. You're micromanaging all the time. So I had
Right.
to kind of let go of control. And that's what I'm learning through that and delegate my time more wisely to give myself a little bit of self-care.
Okay. So I can definitely see that. Like I've moved around for my career. I have clients here and there, but I'm like, I'm almost 40. Like I gotta
Okay.
slow down. I gotta do what's important. My time is valuable. Like, so I
Yeah.
completely understand that. So Greg, there are a lot of beauty professionals and stylists that are like, I would love to be a platform artist. I would love to be an ambassador. I would love to be an industry expert, which you are, Greg. You've achieved that. So is there any little tips or tricks that you could give the stylists that are looking to do some of the things that you are doing?
Well, I would say you have to practice. And
Okay.
practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice. And if you're not there yet, then the time that you're in, before you're getting there, is the
Hmm.
time to mess up, is the time to take
Hmm.
risks, it's the time to, learn new trends and techniques and that kind of thing and feel silly when you don't get it right the first time. When you get older or you get a little bit more well into your career, you're just not going to have the energy all the time, or you're just going to be maybe too busy to do different things to improve your skills and improve your thinking around how to approach something. So I would say just practice, practice, practice,
Okay.
and remain humble. I think remaining humble has been something that has always kind of uh, been a key factor to receiving blessings in my
Okay.
life, in my career, checking my ego, not feeling like I just arrived
Right.
or like I'm just, better than others. I think that we all have our own lanes. And just like any artist is really working on a particular medium like sculpture or paint or
Hmm.
watercolor, whatever, if you find what your niche is and you really perfect your niche, then
Hmm.
people will seek you out for that.
Got it.
I think sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself when I was younger to be good at everything,
Hmm.
sew-ins and ponytails and updo and
Right.
color and cut and, all this stuff. When
Right.
I just had to, things really, really started happening for me when I just had made the decision one night, and I was one night in my room,
Hmm.
made the decision that, I really just like cutting and coloring hair. That's really
Hmm.
just what I like. And so that's just what I'm going to do.
Right.
And so from that point on, that's all I posted
Okay.
was healthy hair cuts and color. So it took me a minute to go through all the rigmarole and the
Hmm.
insecurities and accepting jobs, just for the sake of accepting a job
Right.
and hating the work that I was there to do, to realize that it's really about staying in your lane, and your lane is the aspects of it that you love the most, because
Yes.
that's how you're going to enjoy the journey.
No, I completely agree with that. I've worked in a few salons. I'm like, you know what? I love extensions and I love silk presses. Color, cut, miss you with it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
want some extensions? I got you. You want a silk
I
press?
got
I got you.
you. Right.
Otherwise, go see Greg for some color.
Okay. We might need to do a collaboration then.
Listen, we need
I do
to.
some cut and color. You do some
Listen,
install press.
listen,
Sure.
because I'm gonna be in the back praying that that color come out right. Okay, so
Okay. Well, I got you if
listen.
I was there.
Okay, I got. Listen, I'll probably see you at a hair show this year, so I'll be looking for you.
Yeah.
But there's one question I ask every guest, and that is, what is your superpower as an entrepreneur?
Mm.
Mm,
That's one I don't think I thought about.
it's a hard
I
one.
think, yeah, it is hard. I think my superpower is probably inspiration, inspiring other people.
Mhm,
Um, I feel like I'm just so interested in different things that, increase value in my life, help me
mhm,
to understand myself more, that help me to improve my state of mind. And so I
mhm,
just like sharing those things. I share them with my clients, I share them with my family, I share them with friends, that kind of thing. And I share them on my social media. And I
mhm,
think so, as an entrepreneur, building a salon, that kind of thing, I've created a space that holds a lot more inspiration, as far as like, the books that I have in like a little mini library area that I crafted out, the talks that I have with my clients. And I think the whole experience of just really catering to them and caring about their hair leaves them not only fed with their hair, but the fed in their mind and in their
mhm,
soul. They can leave with a new insightful
mm.
awareness about themselves. And I think when you can empower other people, that is a superpower.
Oh, I love it. I can
Okay.
completely agree. I love it. Listen, I always tell people I can do some hair, but baby, I'm gonna motivate you. When you leave here, you're gonna be
Okay.
on a new diet. You starting a new business.
Right.
Like the hair is just a little bit of disappointment, right?
Right. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
agree with that, Greg.
But I
Um,
will
so,
always say too that the things that I say,
mhm,
I have to work on practicing what I preach. So
true.
I'm always doing my due diligence to stay within a healthy regimen. I do have a sweet tooth. I'm 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 working with.
Listen.
I'm working with, you know, but because I love chocolate and cakes and things like
Yeah.
that. But I work out. I try to eat healthy. I take a lot of supplements.
Okay.
Um, I drink a lot of water. I take care of my skin. I try to take care of my teeth.
Yes.
And because we're in the beauty industry or the business of beauty,
Mhm.
we have to reflect that in a way. We have
Right.
to kind of show something that's more elevated that has to do with beauty,
Mhm.
that someone can inspire to, or someone can make sense of you being in the industry with. So I will say that too.
No, I agree with that. It's a full look. You can't have nice hair and everything else not, fall in place. So I
Yeah.
agree. Right. Well,
Yeah.
Greg, I won't keep you, but I do want to know, where can all the listeners follow you, stay in contact with you? Is there anything that we can look forward to this year? Any shows that you'll be at? Share with us, please.
Okay. Um, well, everybody can follow me on Instagram at Greg_Gilmore.
Okay.
And I'm on TikTok, but I just kind of play with TikTok. It's the G
Right.
tech on TikTok. I have fun with it here and there. And the website for the salon, where you can read more about me and some of the other artists that work in the salon, is modernheritage.com.
Okay.
So it's modern and HAIR, itage.com.
Okay. Love it.
So that's where you can find me. Now, up and coming, I got some things going on. Uh,
Okay.
I have the Game Changer event that I'm going to. It's a retreat
Ooh.
that's going to be outside of Houston.
Okay.
And I think it's Lake Todd or Lake something. I
Ooh.
don't know. But, we got a nice little reservation over there, and we got some stylists coming in to just feed them, just pour
Okay.
into education, inspiration, candid little conversations around the bonfire kind of thing. So that's the weekend of May 4th. I got that coming up.
Okay.
And then, premiere is coming up. I'm still not
Mhm.
sure if I'm going to make it, but
Oh,
I have some things that are kind of up in the air, so I may be there.
okay.
And we have us, as in me and Moroccanoil, we have an artist session show that's going to be in May. I think
Okay.
it's going to be towards the end of May in North Carolina.
Okay.
So that's going to be good. It's North Carolina or South Carolina, but if you follow me, I'm going to be posting about it soon.
Okay. We'll be
And
following.
then, okay, good, good. I'm thinking about having an event here in Los Angeles at the salon for the 1 year anniversary, which will
Ooh.
be July 31st. But, I don't know. It's
Right.
just a little seed that's growing, but
Right.
I might have something real special for that day. And then, of
Okay.
course, I'll be at the Behind the Chair show that'll be in Dallas in
Okay.
August. I may be at Doris Mosley's show in September.
Okay.
And Behind the Chair on tour will be here in Los Angeles in November. So I'll
Okay.
be working that show. And so, yeah, so
All right.
far.
You're gonna be busy.
Okay. I mean, that's
Listen.
good. And it's
Right.
just enough because the salon, woo, the administration and all that, and the clients and
Yeah.
the scheduling and the intake and the woo.
Right. But as long as you get that help, you'll be good.
Right, right. It
Right.
ain't for the faint of heart. I'll
Listen,
say
I,
that.
I bet.
Okay. But it's all
Right.
good. So
Well, Greg, thank you so much for being on the show today. I won't hold you because you got things to do. Okay. And I know it's Monday. So,
uh, it's all
so
good.
thank you and have a great day.
Yes, you too. I really enjoyed our conversation. I hope we
I
can have
did.
another
Oh,
one soon.
we're forever connected now. You won't be able to get
Okay.
rid of me.
All right, boo. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you later.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.